Iaquinta versus Dan Hooker just took place at UFC 243 in a co-main event. People were saying, why should this be a co-main event? That's why it should be a co-main event. It was a great fight. Iaquinta, the leg kicks he was taking, I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 guys on the roster quit. They quit, they give up, they go to their back, and they pray that the guy joins him in guard. Iaquinta did not give any shits, got straight back up, changed stances, whatever he had to do, bursted forward and left himself wide open as long as he could land something. Iaquinta, I hate seeing Iaquinta lose. I picked Dan Hooker to dominate. I thought he was going to pick up Iaquinta. I thought this, in terms of style matchups, is almost the worst you can ever get. Almost the worst. Because, listen, you give Dan Hooker the game of taking on a guy shorter than him that wants to throw hooks on the inside, he wins them all day. He wins them all day. Okay? It's a problem. I was also very surprised by Dan Hooker's wrestling. Dangerous. Iaquinta's a legit wrestler. A legit threat. Dan Hooker just... He had no remorse. Like, there was no... It wasn't even close. It was just domination. Yes, Iaquinta had his moments where he landed his shots, but other than that, it was all Dan Hooker. I picked Dan Hooker to win by late in the second round TKO or early in the third round. I thought Iaquinta was going to be getting busted up early on in the fight, which was happening. I called the calf kick, which was happening. I also called that Dan Hooker would hurt him at the end of the second. That happened, and I thought Iaquinta was going to come out impatient, and Dan Hooker was going to land the knee up the middle. That's what I thought was going to happen. Instead, what we got was almost even better. Dan Hooker just dominates him for 3 rounds. There's no what ifs. What if that shot doesn't KO Iaquinta? It's literally just Dan Hooker dominated him, start to finish, out-jabbed him, played the range. This was literally, I'm watching a fight, and it was like I'm at fight school, and I'm watching, here's what you do when you have range on someone. Alright kids, we're going to do a lesson here, and I'm just going to walk you through how to win a fight if you've got the reach advantage, and here's what's going to happen. We're watching Iaquinta Dan Hooker. It was literally a seminar. Here's what you do when you have a reach advantage. You out-jab the guy, you dodge everything he throws because you control the range and you control the long range, you back up when he moves forward, when he moves backwards you make him pay. It was a clinic from Dan Hooker. Predicted it well. The rest of the card I was doing very well. Tuivasa kind of fucked me. I'll talk about that one. Tuivasa kind of fucked me. But the rest of the card I was doing good. I think the only other one I got wrong was Brad Riddell. Or Riddle. Whatever the fuck he is. But Iaquinta Dan Hooker. No one's complaining about that co-main event now. And look what... Listen, if I'm Iaquinta, first of all, let's talk about him. I hate seeing him lose. I said Dan Hooker was going to win from the start. Very confident in my pick, but I just don't want to see Iaquinta lose. I like the guy. Although he's talked shit about a bunch of guys, and sometimes he said things that no one agrees with, I did like the guy. And I didn't want to see him lose. But I feel like there's an opportunity here for him to just walk away. He can just walk away and he's fine. He's got his real estate job. He just made a chunk of cash. He has a great contract. For sure would get a bonus for that fight. They're probably going to give 2 fight of the night bonuses, by the way. One of them's going to go to Iaquinta Dan Hooker for sure. It's a great fight. Iaquinta has nothing left to prove. He's a beast. He's the real Brooklyn gangster. He went 5 rounds with Khabib. The only guy to ever last a distance with Khabib. Over 5 rounds. Surely that's your legacy enough. It's Khabib. You know what I mean? It's Khabib. You went 5 rounds with him. He couldn't finish you on a day's notice. You always have that, Iaquinta. You always have that. Whenever your kids go, but Dad, you lost. But son, I took the fight on 1 day's notice. They were scrambling. Who could it be? Who will fill this card? And they called me and I said, I'll take that fight. The dangerous guy. The most dangerous guy on the planet, son. And I said, I'll be there in 24 hours. And he couldn't finish me. That's all you can say. You can't say, yeah, I beat Khabib. Fair enough. That'd be a bit better. But you can always have that. I feel like Iaquinta has nothing left to prove. Go retire, bro. There's no need anymore. Go retire. It's fine. Retire or rematch Cerrone. I don't know what the fuck you want to do. Retire. I wouldn't mind it. Retire Barboza or Cerrone. One of them. And if he wants to retire, then we do Barboza Cerrone rematch. And that's what happens. For Dan Hooker, he called his shot. And I think this sets up Conor vs. Gaethje perfectly. Because now with Poirier getting called out in a co-main event of a big pay-per-view, that's going to get some views. And you're damn sure that Poirier's Instagram comments and Twitter feed is going to be filled with Dan Hooker questions. Filled. When you coming back for Dan Hooker? When you doing this? That's what's going to happen next, guys. Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier. He wants him in Auckland. I'm fucking more than happy for that to be a main event. Dan Hooker's earned his right now, I believe. Especially with all the eyes on this event, for him to dominate Iaquinta like that. He's earned his role as a main event fighter now. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him versus Paul Felder if he can't get the Poirier fight. But him versus Poirier, how'd you pick against him? He's flawless. And this goes to show a lot of guys, when I picked Dan Hooker here, a lot of people are agreeing with me. Dan Hooker started as the underdog, ended as a favourite. Often a good sign that you're on the right sort of thing with a prediction. You're on the right track. If you're picking a guy who's an underdog and he ends up a favourite by the end of the fight, it's a good prediction. You know, a lot of guys putting their money on him. Dan Hooker, flawless. And there's a perfect reason. A lot of guys, their argument against me here is, oh, did you see Barboza versus Hooker? Barboza's ranked 7. Iaquinta's ranked 6. What's Iaquinta going to do to him? Styles make fights. Iaquinta does not throw leg kicks and switch kicks to the body like Barboza. He throws boxing combinations. And when you're a boxer, reach is very important. And when you're fighting Dan Hooker, reach is not a factor for you. You have to manage, because he's the biggest, tallest guy with the longest reach. Maybe other than Ferguson. That would be a great fight. But no, Ferguson Khabib. I can't get distracted. Hooker Ferguson would be great, but no. No. You do Hooker Poirier. You do McGregor Gaethje. You do Khabib Ferguson. Winner of McGregor Gaethje and Khabib Ferguson fight each other. Winner of that one you give to Hooker. Or Poirier winner. That's a big one. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye. I got the main event wrong, but I fucking got everything else right pretty much. So I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to sleep happy. Goodbye.